It was interesting listening to Trent Robbo leading into the game, and then his conversations before the game was talking about, we've shown parts of what we're about and what we want to look like, and he said, tonight's the night, though. And he was sort of, he was pretty, strong in his words about the team was committed to giving a great performance, or what they want to be, how they want to be seen, and how they want to play the rest of the year. And I've got to say, it was pretty impressive.
What impressed you the most?
Just professional. They played the conditions well. They tackled really strong. The short kicking game of Sam Walker was once again a masterclass. But they played the conditions. Bit of a trick shot here. Watch this pass. They're warming up, the Roosters. They're a big heavyweight in this competition.
You think they're a huge threat? Like you mentioned before, they've got a lot of players leaving as well. Is this their kind of final crack to have a really good team like this together for a little while?
So. Yeah. I think so, and I think the younger players are getting better. That guy in particular, Terrell, I think he's a rep player in the future. Young guys, Siwa Wong, a couple of other. Now this guy, he's a rugby union.
Skelton.
Jeez, he had some really good touches. Bit of rocks and diamonds about him, but this one here was diamonds.
He's been carving up in New South Wales Cup. He's been so strong. This is his first game in the top grade this year. He put on a huge hit as well.
I like this reaction, the young fella.
Blake Steep, congrats.
And have a look at the reaction. You can see he's a popular member of the team. Look at them all. Look at Victor's giving him some hand love there. Nice stuff, Victor.
Good work, Steepy. The fact that Keary's going and Jared Weddy-Hargreaves, Manu, they've all been part of that, 18 and 19 together. They're going to want to make it a great year. Don't worry about that. They'll finish strong. They're not going to beat themselves the rest of the year. It's going to have to be a really good footy team on their game to beat them.
Well, the other benefit they have as well is the fact that James Tedesco, they're going to have him through this next couple of weeks.
He was so good. Period. And those conditions were perfect for him. Just around the middle of the field, with his footwork and power, he travelled them all night around the middle of the field. The Dogs were going to always lack creativity, especially around the halves in these conditions. I think Sam Walker was the real difference on the night. He laid on about 2 or 3 tries with his short kicking. He's got dead set funnel webs on him. This one here, there was one where he beat, might be this one, he beats about 4, 5 guys in that short. Look at the power in the salmon. Big, strong backside. Big, strong backside.
What about the response from Brendan Smith? Obviously, he's been under some pressure. He had some off-field dramas, been given a breach notice by the club. The response from him last night, his performance? Yeah,
he said he's cleaned himself up, he's had a shave. But that's all he needs to do now. He needs to get back out there on the field and just play his best footy. And we all know he's a champion player. He's a champion bloke as well. But he'll be a huge key for them as well going forward if they're going to do anything in this competition.
What'd you make of the Dogs, Freddie?
They were a bit short without Crichton. Had a few players missing. I think they've been like that all year, really. I think they sort of aim up for a couple of weeks and then they fade. I thought that was a fade there.
You're surprised they put Burton in the centres to start with? Because they end up moving Burton back into 5'8". I just didn't think Burton or Kikau got enough quality ball on that left side.
Well, Serrato said after the game as well that it was Burton who put his hand up to make the move.
Really? I would have kept him closer to the action.
Yeah, he needs
more ball.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the Titans and the Warriors game, because this was a huge win for the Gold Coast side. 66-6, the final result there. Is this the start of a bit of a revival for the Gold Coast side, or is it too soon to...
It's so hard to say with the Titans, because they put performances on like this and they absolutely blitz teams, and then the following week they might get pumped by the same amount of points. So, it's crazy to say if they are going to go for a run from this point on, but they have been a little bit more resilient. They are building and they have got a good little team there. I really like Jaden Campbell in that 6th position. We were speaking earlier as well. I don't know where AJ Brinson slots back into this team.
He can't come straight back in. The young fullback, he was one of the best on the field. Is it Kenny?
Kenny.
Yeah.
He's a good player. And this bloke here, he is lightning. Have a look how easy it is. It's like a video game. There's a team building there.
I reckon the first game I ever watched him play, I just knew straight away he was going to be a good player. He finishes so well. It's one of those players where he's never reaching for balls.
Yeah.
It's like Dominic Young. It's like Alex Johnson. Really lovely timing, and he just seems to always catch the ball It's always there out in front, never going behind him.
So then what is the best make-up for the Gold Coast side going forward when AJ Brimson does come back?
Well, he's just got to come back in the 14 jersey. You cannot put Jaden Campbell out. And this young bloke, he was unbelievable. The amount of small, fast fullbacks we've got in the game at the moment, young small fullbacks.
How good is it?
Oh,
They are
great to see.
They are a good team and they're great to watch. I just wish they'd play in the day at Seabus every week because they're a different team up there. I think David Fafita gets excited when it's a fast track and it's a day game.
What about the Warriors? Their coach Andrew Webster had some pretty interesting things to say. He said, "We got what we deserved today," and he labelled it embarrassing.
I've got a theory. So obviously Sam was the same, played his career in a one-town team. I played in Newcastle. When you're going well, especially for the younger players, you're getting pats on the back everywhere you go. Look, the last 18 months, there's been that catch cry up the wires, and they're so popular. They're a one-team, one-country team. So I just think sometimes younger players can get ahead of themselves, and you only need to drop your professionalism by 5%. You know, whether it's you're not eating right, well, that's a try. I couldn't believe that was a no try. They got to get back to basics, get the fundamentals right, and back their defence.
Yeah, well, some of their senior players too haven't been playing great either.
Sean hasn't been playing.
No, he hasn't been playing his best football at all, not even close to it. You know, I think having Tuivasa-Sheck back was good, but you know, it was almost like he was trying too hard out there. He got sin bin as well in the game, so yeah, it's maybe it's.
Would you put Roger back to fullback?
Oh, I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
Speaking of that sin bin, what did you make of it? To receive 10 minutes in the bin for
I would have got sin bin every week because a lot of the tackles that I used to do, you know, up and under the ball, and I think he was put on his back at the end of the day. I would, in all honesty, I would have been happy for him to be put on report for that one, and then
it's a good tackle.
It's a great tackle. Puts him on his back.
Can the bunker just stop imposing itself on the game?
Yeah.
Stop imposing yourself on the game. There's a referee out there. There's 2 touch judges. Let them referee and officiate the game.
What did you make of that one?
Well, I thought that Kelma Tawalangi, I thought that was too harsh.
On Lindsay Collins.
On Lindsay Collins, he ended up with 4 weeks. And I just thought that's just set a bit of a pattern at the moment that if that's 4 weeks and any time anyone is lifted, they're going to get sin binned, I think. I just think it's an overreaction.
Is that the thing I think that frustrates people, is the lack of consistency you see across a lot of
So that's a bad argument because you've got to understand there is no black and white at all in the game in any 2 decisions. So they're all so different. So it's just a bit of a mindset, I feel. It's just changing a mindset about, you know, because all of a sudden you say lifted, pass parallel, you start doing stuff like that and it sort of doesn't work because, you know, whether you go up past parallel, it might have different intention to something that's not so aggressive. Like, they're all different. So it's about, you know, what's your intent like? Is a bloke in any harm? I don't think anywhere in there is in any harm. He gets lifted. Roger does drive him, but I just can't see how that's a sin.
And they're officiating on it at super slow motion. Bunker,
you're not going to avoid that, but mate.
Stay out
the
of
TV's
the
in super slow motion.
Just stay out of the play. The bunker was brought in to stop the howler when try-scoring situations. Stay out of it.
As in, shouldn't be officiating on
unless
like that.
Someone gets absolutely necked and elbowed in the face.
So I think it should be, if it's a sin binnable offence, they should come in because sometimes, you know, when people are jamming in and you don't know if it's there or a little bit higher, sometimes you can miss those things and, you know, they can be the difference. But if that's a sin binnable offence, I wouldn't call that. You know, you shouldn't come in for that tackle, I wouldn't think.
Some breaking news, Junior Ponga from the Roosters, he's been handed a 4-game suspension for a high tackle. They graded it as reckless, a grade 2, this one on Connor Tracy last night.
4 weeks?
Do you think 4 weeks is too light for this?
1,000,000%. That was a stiff arm. That's an old-fashioned coat. Oh, it's hard to watch.
I can't see where they got the 4 weeks.
That's
You know what? I've watched Junior this year. He's had an incredible season. And I reckon he slips just before he actually takes off to chase Connor Watson. So something happens there. It's not so much the tackle. I haven't seen anything like this in his game. But, like, 4 weeks.
When they jam from outside in, when the centres and also wingers, and they decide to come outside in to put pressure on those, you got to get it right. We've seen Micah Sevo He's been pinged a few times.
Yeah.
Obviously, we saw Joseph's
Perhaps got the bad one in Magic Round a couple of years
Pappenhausen.
ago.
Yeah.
His effort.
But this one, this is awful.
Yeah. He got everything wrong in this, and it's a very, very lazy effort at an attempt of making a tackle, and deserved the send-off. But yeah, I think 4 weeks is pretty light for that type
How he
of tackle.
didn't break his jaw, or when Connor Tracy landed, how he didn't tear his ACL or break his leg. That was awful.
Yeah, and that's the thing for the Bulldogs. They're going to obviously be without Connor Tracy as well. They're going to have to see whether he's got the 11-day stand down for that and whether there are any other injuries as well. All right, well, let's head back to the Dolphins and the Storm game at Suncorp Stadium on Friday night. That was a thriller in the end. It was such a strange game to start off, but a great performance from both sides, but the Storm just getting the win there in the sort of dying 10 or so minutes.
It was so entertaining. All of Melbourne's tries were from their own half, just about. Incredible speed. Will Warbrick, if I was a recruiter, I'd be going to the Olympics and watching the Sevens rugby. Yeah. He is incredible. Not only from what he's doing with the ball, he's got that great fitness level. It's just turned into an AFL player.
What about Jerome Hughes' kick for Warbrick? He just had it on a dime. Yeah. It bounced perfectly for him as well.
Well, he's the best halfback in the competition at the moment, Jerome.
What a moment this was.
Considering also that there's been no Munster. Pappenhausen's been out for a fair chunk of the year. He's got Tyrone Wishart mainly playing 5'8". There hasn't been that consistency. And Garlick was at hooker. Jerome just keeps getting it done. He is on fire, career best form. Just in front of Daly Cherry Evans, I've got to say, as in form halfbacks of the comp.
For the Melbourne Storm, they of course had Ryan Pappenhausen back in action. He hadn't played since round 9 when he had a fracture in his lower leg or foot. Having him back, they also had Suafalongo, who he didn't play for a majority of the game, but when he comes on, he's so fast to watch. So how do they fit the players that they've got to a team?
He plays 14,
yeah.
Sua. Plays jersey 14.
Put him on at the same time as Nelson Asafa Solomona and just tell him to follow him around the field.
He had so much, Pappenhausen. Obviously, in those set plays, he's so good, but his support play and his anticipation, any half chances or any offload, he's there.
I couldn't believe Jermaine Asako didn't head for the
corner
post.
He usually does. He usually
thinking?
does. I don't know. He stepped back in, but he usually pins the ears back.
Do you think he was thinking about the goal kick?
You know what? That's the difference.
Do you think he was thinking about the goal kick? Watch this. He's home. He's got to beat.
His goal kicking, he needs to work on his goal kicking. When he's on the right-hand side of the field, he puts such a draw on the ball. He just gives himself pretty much no chance.
He's changed the way he's kicked. Even just watching him over the last few seasons, and I was at the Broncos when he was there as a kicker as well. He's trying to get the JT curl going with his kick now.
He puts a lot of curl on it.
Because he missed that one after he made that sprint down the sideline, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt bad for him because he was exhausted.
Yeah.
All the players, they said after the game that was one of the most exhausting physical games that they've played in a while. They were all on their haunches. But after he made that sprint down the sideline, he lay down for a good minute or so just trying to catch his breath back. Yeah.
An incredible moment. Like Pappenhausen on the chase, what he had to do, Jermaine himself. And then the contact. I was watching even Pappenhausen come into the tackle and not just coming in around the legs, looking for the ball, getting hold of the ball, and then Jermaine then making the extra effort. It was amazing.
Howarth off the bench, the young guy. I forget his first name. Is it Jack Howarth?
Yeah.
Jack.
Now, he's been in and around playing lower grades, coming in and out. There's a boom on him. What'd you think of Jack?
No, he's a good kid. He's still trying to find his feet in first grade, but he'll be great. The more games he gets to play, and he's in a good system, which helps.
What position is he?
Back row.
Back row.
Yeah. But definitely tough enough to play in the middle of the field too. Yeah, definitely athletic as well.
It's like Trent Liera. They look very similar.
Well, there's mail that Munster may be back soon. He's been running. So that'd be a bonus coming into the semi-finals if they get Munster back, going beast mode.
This year, NRL on 9 is your one-stop shop for all footy.
That's right, Freddie. Not about the highlights. Action, 7 days a week.
Billy and Gus podcast, get that on your drive on the way home. Immortal behaviour. Grab a seat on the couch for that. And, of course, my favourite, Freddie and the Own.
The best footy brains, the biggest games.
Don't trust the algorithm. Subscribe to NRL on 9 and get all your entertainment there.